Let's move on to the next life process, that is respiration. Now, if I ask you what is respiration, obviously the most common answer would be respiration is a process of taking in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. This is what we have been learning in our lower classes. So, when we take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide, this exchange of gases is what we call as respiration. But actually, no, this is not respiration. This is just called as breathing. And breathing is a part of respiration, and it involves only exchange of gases. So if this is breathing, then what is respiration? Let's understand. We know that oxygen enters the lungs through breathing. So when we breathe, oxygen enters the lungs. Then from the lungs, this oxygen enters the blood. So you can see oxygen entering the bloodstream. And then blood carries this oxygen to all the cells of the body. Now once oxygen reaches all the cells of the body, inside the cell, oxygen then enters an organelle called as the mitochondria, as you can see here. So now oxygen enters the mitochondria, where glucose, that is food, is already present. Now in the mitochondria, this food, that is glucose, is broken down with the help of oxygen to release energy. And this energy is released in the form of ATP. So when glucose is broken down, it releases energy in the form of ATP. Now this process of release of energy from the food is called as respiration. And during this process, water and carbon dioxide are given out as byproducts. And during this process, carbon dioxide and water vapor are given out as byproducts. And this carbon dioxide and water vapor are given out during the process of breathing. So it is this CO2 and water vapor which is given out during the process of breathing. So now, how do we define the process of respiration? The process of acquiring oxygen from outside the body and to use it in the process of breakdown of food sources for cellular needs is called as respiration. Now, depending upon the presence or absence of oxygen, respiration is of two types. The first one occurs in the presence of oxygen, and this is called as aerobic respiration. Whereas there are some organisms which respire even in the absence of oxygen. And this type of respiration is called as anaerobic respiration. The word aero means in the presence of air, and the word anaero means in the absence of air. Now let's move on to the phases of respiration. We saw that breathing is just a part of respiration. It involves only exchange of gases. But actual respiration involves the release of energy inside the cell. So we can call it as cellular respiration. Therefore, we can say that respiration has two phases. The first one is breathing, and the second one is cellular respiration. Now, breathing is also called as external respiration, whereas cellular respiration is also called as internal respiration because it occurs within the cells. Now, in breathing, there is only exchange of gases in a particular pathway, whereas in cellular respiration, there is release of energy in the form of ATP. Now, breathing takes place in the respiratory system, whereas cellular respiration takes place in the mitochondria of the cells.